Hello there everybody and welcome back to my new video. As a new year begins, it brings the hope of the announcement of the anime adaptation of Stone Ocean. A part that a lot of people have conflicting emotions towards. A lot of people don't like part 6, while there's a great deal of people who do. I'm sort of in the middle ground. It's not my favorite part, but I don't think it's the worst part on planet Earth. In looking at Stone Ocean, there are a lot of different attributes that pop up when discussing why people don't like it. One of the most common aspects, though, are the children of Dio. Now, I actually really like Dio's children, and I do feel like people give them a lot more shit than they deserve. They're not the worst part at all by far. Now, when examining Dio's children, there seems to be a general consensus between those who hate and like Stone Ocean that Ungalo is the worst of the trio, and the Bohemian Rhapsody is the worst stand fight ever. Now, although I agree that Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the poorer quality stand fights, I personally find Ungalo to be one of the most interesting of the three in subtext. Especially when analyzing his stand's name, Bohemian Rhapsody, and the lyrics behind what the, song, When analyzing his stand's name, Bohemian Rhapsody, and the lyrics behind the song it's based on. Now, before I go into explaining my reasoning, I'm just going to give a heads up that I'm going to be talking about, a lot of my own personal headcanons and my own interpretations of canon material, so if you don't like that type of conversations, too bad, I'm fucking talking about it anyways. So, let's get this started by examining the lyrics of the song, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. The starting lines, "Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality," matches the stand's ability, of course, to bring fictional characters to real life. But, it goes even deeper than that. Each of Dio's kids share a facet of Dio's worst personality traits. This was done in a way to show Poochie the worst parts of the man he idolized and loved in order to better understand him and move forward with his plans to achieve heaven. In Ungalo's case, he symbolizes Dio's addiction issues as well as Dio's resentment towards the world. Ungalo is a heavy drug addict. This fact alone relates to the Brando family's history of substance abuse. Dio and, his father Dario. Not much is revealed about Ungalo's past, but I personally have some headcanons to relate to the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody. One of my headcanons is giving Ungalo another parallel to Dio in the form of his relationship to his mother. Bohemian Rhapsody's lyrics often allude to the singer's relationship with their mother, feeling regret or sadness to their own current state of life and how it's making their mom feel. It's canon in the manga that one of the few people Dio ever cared about is his mother, suggesting that the two had a close and loving relationship before her passing. Paired with the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody, I believe Ungalo and his mother had a similar closeness. A person's stand also always alludes to a certain aspect of the person's mental state, and I've always wondered why Bohemian Rhapsody's ability was to bring fictional characters to real life apart from the opening lyrics of the song, especially in the way it does, making them look so grotesque and monstrous. I personally believe it's because Ungalo has a specific attachment/connection to fictional characters. Maybe because his mother would often read him fairy tales to soothe him due to their hard home life, as reflected in the song's mentioning of the singer being from a poor family. I can imagine a poor, hard-working, single mother still trying to find the time to take care of her son and read them fairy tales or all types of stories to ease their woes. For Ungalo to still hold such a fondness for fiction and children's characters, to me means that he faced a lot of traumatic experiences in his childhood to still hold on to it, maybe even having the desire to escape to it, so much that the concept of fiction becoming real manifests itself as part of his stand, and the trauma being the reason the fictional characters appear so disfigured and monstrous. The happy memory fictions brought Ungalo have slowly been corrupted over the years. I also personally believe Ungalo's mother has passed away just like Dio, either due to similar circumstances or due to the same problems Ungalo finds himself in now, addiction. Which is why he would feel so much resentment towards the world with dealing him such a shit hand in life. This is where the true tragedy of Ungalo's character derives from. Having a life filled with nothing but tragedy, heartbreak, an addiction. It's no wonder he's the neurotic, violent man he is now. He hates the world for treating them the way it has, but does nothing to try and change. These song lyrics particularly reflect this tragic part of his character. The man he killed is himself, metaphorically, with drugs. He feels awful about making his mother sob for him, either in heaven or in real life, for following down a similar path, but it shows he's unwilling to change by saying nothing really matters. In relation to this, the theme/pace of the song Bohemian Rhapsody fits really well with the pace of the arc and how it ends. Most notably, the part of the song where the singer is retorting towards someone. Is Ungalo retorting towards the world? He is finally happy for once in his life, as he feels as if he's finally gotten the upper hand. Ungalo's defeat is honestly one of the most tragic and glance-over deaths in Jojo, as he's not even really directly defeated by the Jobros. After Weather creates a character that basically automatically counters the abilities, something happens inside Ungalo. First of all, I'd like to express to you how minuscule of an effect the Jobro solution had. Bohemian Rhapsody's ability is a worldwide phenomenon. Every country around the world was affected by it. The Jobros coming up with the solution in Florida barely should have done anything. But this tiny example of failure sensed by Ungalo was enough to shake him to his core. Thoughts of failure and coming down from his high of happiness was terrifying to him. If he failed, he would go back to the life he knew, filled with nothing but despair and tragedy. Which is how he is defeated. Overwhelmed by these thoughts, he lost the will to live and died. Ungalo was not defeated by an attack barrage or clever thinking by the Jobros. He just gave up. This also reflects the closing lines of the song itself, as he gives up on life itself. I also find it ironic that the book Ungalo picks up to realize his stand is being reversed as Peter Pan, the story of a boy who lives in a make-believe land, eternally young. That's Ungalo, a boy trapped in the trauma he faced as a young child that has continued to affect him throughout his life and does nothing to try and get himself out of it. In conclusion, most people consider Ungalo to be the least developed or even the worst of Dio's children, as his arc is hard to read and untraditional and kind of boring if I'm being completely honest with you. But when reading the subtext of the song his stand is named after, I believe it adds another layer to his character, making him my favorite. So yeah, there was another Jojo style video. Maybe I'll do another one of these about other Dio's children, because I think they're equally as interesting, although Ungalo is my favorite. Make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't usually promote it like that, but hey, if you like content about anime and manga, and sometimes JoJo stuff, you should definitely subscribe. Okay, I'm gonna see you all, yeah, bye!